Oh, I like this one.
Okay.
So the myth was mediation is always the best option for every divorcing couple. So is divorce mediation the best option for everyone?
No. In my earlier days and when I was training and going to school, I just thought this is the answer to world peace and everybody should just sit down and, you know, if you're a good enough mediator, you can get an agreement out of anybody. That is not the case. Now, there are issues, especially in divorce, that you do not want to mediate. You shouldn't mediate. It's not appropriate for mediation. It's something, and that's why the courts are there, and that's why good attorneys are there, and that's why the judge is there, is to protect people from these kinds of things. And that's domestic violence, and any kind of child abuse going on, and any kind of serious criminal activity with money on either side. Those kinds of things cannot be mediated.
Right.
And that is when you have to ask those really good questions on the intake, and you find out what's going on both sides, and usually after the initial consultation, you can know whether you can move forward with this.
And what issues there may be.
Exactly, and you need to make sure that they are honest with you, because a lot of times they just are like, oh, it's just easy, can we just do mediation? And then you need to be able to ask the hard questions and find out what's going on. And that's not, and unfortunately there are things that cannot be mediated. They need the law, they need the courts, they need that whole system on their side.
And you have to have obviously a high level of honesty and integrity. I mean, especially when it comes to like disclosing assets and income and things of that nature. That need to be open and honest. I mean, mediation doesn't work if you're trying to hide something or saying something doesn't exist when it does. I mean, that's just not gonna work.
And I think maybe it's because I do come from a different background, from a background of psychology. You kind of get a feeling with people, and you get those red flags, and you think, you know what, this probably is not the best option, especially if it's the other party that's going to be damaged.
So you've had cases where you've started mediation and you kind of got to a point where you're like,
you have to terminate
this is not going to happen.
When certain things are disclosed, you have to say, you know what, this is not the best arena for this. This is not the best option for you. And I really recommend that you go find separate attorneys and deal with these issues. Now, you can come back and do a parenting plan if that's something you want to work out. But particular issues need to be taken care of in the court system.
Yeah, we talk a lot about saving money and doing your divorce through a company like ours, or using mediation instead of attorneys. But there's just times when there are needs for attorneys.
Right.
Only thing I try and get across to people is that it shouldn't be your first option. I mean, in some cases you're just going to need an attorney. There's no two ways about it.
Right.
But for 95% of the population, that with our services combined, our service alone, your service alone, they can get through this for a lot more cost effective and less emotional draining. Well, maybe more emotional drain. Depends on how the mediation goes.
Exactly. But the end result, you come out healthier, happier, more sane, with a lot more money than you would have if you would have decided to drag it on through court, and able to heal and start that healing process quicker.
Yeah. Okay, good. Any other myths that you have common questions?
Those are all,
were these pretty good?
I pretty much covered all of them, and there are things that I hear all the time. People are saying, especially the wimpy one.
Really? I wasn't going to even address that one. You don't want to put it on there.
Because some men are just, and a few times women are like, really, I already have a therapist.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit and cry with my ex-husband. We've done this forever.
Yeah.
But this is just, I just want to tell them over and over that if you want to be in control of this process, you want to be in control of what happens to your kids and your money and your health, then this is a process that is worth giving a try. You need to try this process. It saves everybody a lot of grief.
Yeah, it's definitely good. It's a good process. Tough process, but good results.
Yes,
the
end is worth it. For sure.